Now second source of information, that is primary source of data collection. Primary data is one which is collected by the researcher himself for the purpose of specific study. Research data is original in character and it is generated by conducting surveys, experiments, observations, etc. As we have discussed, primary data or primary sources are fresh data. These sources or this data is generated by researcher himself. This data is more reliable, more accurate, and it gives accurate findings. In order to collect the primary data, researchers have to put more efforts, money, and time. And this data is mostly used to solve major problems or big problems that the marketing department is facing. So various surveys, experiments, observation, various methods are there to collect the primary sources. First one, interviewing. This is the most comprehensive method of data collection. It involves one-to-one interaction between the person being interviewed and the interviewer. There are two ways of conducting this type of personal interviews: non-directive interviews and semi-structured interviews. Now here, a researcher appoint various salesmen or various personals, and these company's representative or salesmen go to various people or various respondents and they ask various questions relating to the problem. Now the person who is taking the interview is known as a interviewer, and the person, or you can say respondent, who is answering the question is known as the interviewee. So there is a conversation between interviewer and interviewee. Interviewer asks the question about the problem that company is facing, and interviewee is answering the questions. And whatever answers interviewee is giving, respondent is giving, interviewer is writing on one page or one format that a company is having. Now this interview method can be conducted by two ways: non-directive interviews and semi-structured interviews. First, non-directive interviews. In such type of interviews, the respondent is given maximum freedom to talk with the background of the topic of interest. This method is generally used for exploratory research. Success of this method lies largely with the interviewer, depending to what extent compute the respondent to its, and so that quality of information can be allocated from the respondent. Now, as the name says, non-directive interview, here interviewer gives enough freedom to the respondent to answer the question on a given topic. An interviewer or researcher gives a topic on which that they want to collect the data, and respondent is free to say anything, whatever he or she feels about these questions. So there is enough freedom on the side of interviewee to give any answers regarding the question that is being asked to him or her. So it is non-directive. Second, semi-structured interviews. Here, do the researcher still has the freedom to talk? It is guided to the interview. The interviewer has a list of specific questions to which he seeks answers, and this type of interview is extremely taxing and is generally conducted on small scale or small select sample. Now, in semi-structured, again the interviewee or the respondent is given freedom to talk what he or she feels about the question, but on a limited ground. Means there is a freedom, but not as much as freedom that non-directive interview is giving. On a particular limit they have to answer, and the interviewer is also having specific questions regarding the topic, and respondent have to answer the topic in given range only. They cannot go beyond the range. Means related to topic they have to speak, not on other topic. Next, focus group discussions. A discussion is held among a group of generally 5 to 9 respondents. This method is adopted when the researcher is trying to seek new solutions to problems, new product ideas, etc. in exploratory research. The benefit of this method is that respondents are more likely to convert their true opinions, and the exchange of thoughts and ideas is likely to generate new ideas. This method offers more encouragement than in personal interview, and respondents are often more natural and frank in expressing themselves. Here, a researcher is framing a group of 5 to 9 respondents, and this group of respondents is given a topic, and on that topic, respondents have to give their opinions. It is like a debate. The agenda behind focus group discussion means here 5 to 9 respondent is there. They are discussing on a particular topic which is given by the researcher. The objective why researcher is doing this kind of activity is to know something new. Whenever the objective of researcher to get new idea about the product or some innovative ideas, creative ideas, at that time, researcher use this kind of discussions. And also many times in order to understand the problem, or when the objective of researcher is exploratory research, at that time also these focus group discussions are done. So here each respondent can give their own suggestions, own opinions, and they will share with the other people. And researcher will note down those opinions and suggestions which is helpful to solve the problem that the marketing department is facing. Third method, observation methods. As the name suggests, in this method, the researcher only observes various characteristics about the respondents, his behavior, etc. There is no interaction between the respondent and the person collecting the information. Here the name itself says, means here researcher is observing the respondent. Here researcher and the respondent are not getting into contact with each other. Researcher is just observing that how the respondent is behaving in a market. For example, when interviews are conducted at the respondent residence, an observation of the home, the lifestyle of the respondent could help in gauging the accuracy of his replies. And observing buyers in retail stores can give valuable insights into the behavior pattern of consumer and the effect of point of purchase displays. Example is given that whenever the researcher goes to the house of the respondent in order to get the data. So at that time, researcher is just not getting the answers of the questions from the respondents, but also he is observing the house where the respondent is living and his facial expressions, his lifestyles and other things. From that, a researcher will also get the idea that whether the response that researcher is giving is true or not, means whether the respondent mean whatever he says or not. Other example we can take, for example, a researcher wants to know that how many real customers enter into a mall. So researcher has set a camera on the main door of the mall. Now during the day 1000 people enter into the mall and 1000 people are also existing at the end of a day. Here through this camera, researcher is trying to analyze that how many persons are getting out from the mall carrying bags in their hands. So those customers who are carrying bags with them or in their hand, it means they have purchased something from the bags. And those customers who are leaving the mall with the empty hands, it means they are just random people. The intention of these people is not to purchase anything. So, for example, out of 1000 people, 600 people are carrying the bags. Means they have purchased something from the mall, and 400 people left without anything from the mall. It means these 400 people are the random people. They are not the customers. So, this research outcome we can get with the observation. Here, these 1000 people who are the respondent will not get the idea that any research is being done on them. So, researcher and respondent are not in direct contact with each other, and the respondent is not having idea that this kind of research is done on them. Fourth, questionnaire. Here the interviewer is armed with questionnaire, wherein not only all the questions to be asked are similarly listed, but also all the possible answers are usually given. A questionnaire can be administered in different ways. Now, questionnaire we know very well just because we have discussed this in the previous lecture also. A questionnaire is a one kind of device or instrument to record the answers of the respondents. This is widely popular method to collect the primary data. And here a list of questions will be there. Around 15 to 17 questions will be there, and this question will be armed with the options. Also, we have discussed the various types of questions that we can ask in the questionnaire, like Likert scale, dictonomous questions, then ranking scale, rating scale, semantic differential scale. So various types of questions we can include in the questionnaire according to the need. So a questionnaire is a good instrument to get the primary data. Now a questionnaire can be filled with the various ways, like door-to-door interview. Means here the sales personnel of a company will visit to the houses of the respondent, and sales personnel will request the respondent to fill up the questionnaire. So from one house to another house they are going and they are filling the questionnaires. Shopping mall intercept means whenever the customers are going to shopping malls, so on the shopping malls they are having a small table and a small tent, and the salesman will request those people who came for shopping in the mall to fill up the questionnaires. Purchase intercept techniques means those people who have already purchased the product from your store or your shop or your company, you will call them or you will go to their houses and you will collect the data. Omnipresent survey. So this kind of survey is collected at any place, on the streets or anywhere, wherever you go, and wherever any person is there, respondent is there, you will request them to fill up the questionnaire and you will collect the data. Telephone interview. Here a researcher is having large database of mobile numbers and telephone numbers of the respondents, and they randomly call any person and request the respondent to answer the question that researcher is asking through this telephonic interview. And mail surveys. Now this method is also popular, that researcher is sending emails to the respondents, and respondents just have to open this email, click on the link, and they have to select the various options of the questions, and finally they have to click on the submit button, and automatically the response will be received by the researcher. No matter where the respondent and the researcher is sitting, the distance of both can be miles, means both are miles away from each other, but then too a researcher can conduct the research with easiness. Experimentation. An experiment involves the creation of artificial situations so that the researcher can manipulate one or more variable while controlling all of the other and measuring the result and effects. For example, if researcher wants to find out whether a consumer can make out that tasted difference between two brands mangoes juices sold by different companies. So experimentation simply means here a researcher is doing experiment on customer, that what is the taste of the customer, what customer likes and does not like. So in order to get this kind of reviews, experimentation method is used. One example is also given that in order to check that two different brands of mango juices are there, which brand of mango juice customer like and does not like. Second, an experiment on taste of different cold drinks brand like Coca-Cola, Pepsi and Thums Up. For example, you have to fill the cold drink of three different brands on three different glasses, transparent glasses. On one glass you will fill Thums Up, second you will fill Pepsi and third you will fill Coca-Cola. Now you have to request the respondent to take a sip from all three glasses. After taking the sip from all three glasses of cold drinks, respondent have to answer that which glass of cold drink is having the best taste. Now as these three glasses does not having any stickers that which glass is having which cold drink brand, so here a researcher will get unbiased answer. Otherwise what happens? Say for example, if the respondent is like the favors of Coca-Cola, so he will take the sip from all three glasses, means Thums Up, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but he will give the answer Coca-Cola. So this answer is biased just because previously, means this respondent is already have make up his mind that he is going to answer the Coca-Cola just because he is having good image and he likes the taste of Coca-Cola. But what we have to do, we need not to put any label on the glasses and we have to ask the customer to take the sip from all three glasses and then he has to answer that which glass is having the good taste. So it is experimentation. Last, case study method. A case study is a sequence of events of an issue or problem that requires decision making. It studies business situation or condition depicted almost like in the form of a story. The researcher distributes the case to one or more people either together or individually. Each one is then asked to read and analyze the case and give their opinion or solutions. The advantage of case study is that one situation can be analyzed by various different people and various different angles of solutions can be explored. Now, case study method. In unit number 5, we are going to explore case study practically. So, in the 5th unit, that is the case study, we will discuss the case study of various companies and we will try to solve it out. And also, you have to answer this question in your examination also. So, from the 5th chapter, you have no theoretical questions, only you just have to answer the case study. Okay. So what is case study? A case study is like a story. It is like a story about 200 or 300 words or one page of content. You have to, first of all, you have to read the story. Then after reading the story, it will have few questions at last that you have to read. Then you have to analyze and you have to answer the questions by this story, or you can say this one page story that you have read. Generally, the objective of case study is to get the problem that the story is having. Generally, whenever a company is facing any problem, at that time, this type of case study is prepared and various respondents are requested to read the case study and they have advice to solve the problem or to give the suggestion that how to solve the problem. Here various respondents are given this kind of case study and answers will be taken from them, and after getting the answers of this case study from various respondents, they have to analyze that which answer or which respondent have gave the best solution for the problem that your company is facing. So case study method is also used in order to solve the highly extreme problem that your marketing department is facing. So we have discussed about primary and secondary sources of data. That's it for the lecture. Further we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you.